Thank you very much.
Coffin is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a bunch of back issues I picked up at some half-price bookstores that I visited today. So first thing I picked up was Web of Spider-Man number 117. This came out in 1994. It's got this cool gold foil cover. It's also a flip book, as it said. So we've got a alternate story and alternate cover on it. They both have that foil on it. It looks really cool. I picked this up because this is the beginning of the Clone Saga. Power and Responsibility, Part 1, Spider-Man versus Peter Parker. So, Terry Cavanagh's the writer here. We've got, let's see, Stephen Butler is the penciler. Randy Emberlin is the inker here. Looks a lot like Mark Bagley's style a bit. I almost thought it was at first. Really awesome looking Spider-Man here. But yeah, I just picked this one up because it's the beginning of the Clone Saga, kind of an infamous Spider-Man storyline. Got the Traveler here. Got some hookers here. But I was always a sucker for the Clone Saga. I kind of grew up in that era, reading comics. This is one I never owned before, though, so I haven't really flipped through it. Most of these I haven't flipped through yet, so... Got the backup story here. This is Birth of a Spider-Man, Part 1. I'm guessing this might be the birth of the clone. Liam Sharp is the penciler here. Some really interesting looking pencils. I really like it. Swole looking Spider-Man. We get some sketch files here by Tom Lyle and Mark Bagley. John Jameson, profiles on, who's this, the Vermin and Scarlet Spider. They're calling him the Exile here. I almost wonder if do they have him, is he even named yet? I don't even think he's named yet here. He probably had it in mind though. Maximum Carnage ad. That was a great game for Sega Genesis. I got a couple Batman comics. Got from the Nightfall storyline here. Got Detective Comics number 660. I got this because we've got the Sam Keith cover here. The artist who did the Max. Did a lot of work on in Marvel too. Marvel Comics Presents. All sorts of stuff. He's doing the cover here. Got Chuck Dixon, Jim Balent. Chuck Dixon's writing, Jim Balent doing the pencils here. This is the Bane storyline where he eventually breaks Batman's back. So, which is the next issue that I picked up today, actually. Got this for a nice little price here. It's only $6. It's in pretty nice condition here. This is an issue I already own, but couldn't pass it up for the price. And it looked in pretty good shape too, so copy I have is a bit older, but well, I mean this one's old too, but it looks like it's in pretty nice shape. So this is the one where Bane breaks Batman's back. Say that 5 times fast. Try and get to that page here. It's kind of an infamous page, but really not that great of a splash page. A very straightforward shot. But a fun issue. Always thought Bane was a really cool villain. Of course, that was around the time they killed Superman. So, doing what they can to sell comic books. Then I picked up a newer comic book here, X-Force #1. This is the new X-Force. This was one I didn't read or pick up when it first came out a couple months back, part of the From the Ashes X-Men line. The only X-Men books I was reading were Uncanny X-Men and the regular X-Men book and Wolverine, but this one was half off. Good price, so I figured I'd check it out, see what this team's all about. I've actually kind of heard some good reviews about this book, how it's episodic. So we've got self-contained stories in each issue. We've got a team that all have like kind of similar matching outfits, a uniform. I like teams with uniforms. I always liked when the X-Men had the blue and yellow uniforms. Although you could argue those were pretty generic, but I always liked it when the team looked like a team. So we've got this big metal guy. I think his name's Tank. Not an X-Man I'm familiar with. Maybe he's an invention of Forge or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to read this. My reader stack's getting pretty thick. I'm going to have to probably cut out buying back issues for a little bit after this. I've been buying a lot of back issues here lately, so I got a lot of reading to do. Got X-Men #13, Hazardous Territory. This continues the story of this villain Hazard attacking the X-Men here. He's got a grudge against Xavier. This was right around the time Jim Lee was dipping out of this book. Got a great WrestleMania steel cage ad there with the Macho Man and the $1 Million Man. I used to play this game all the time for Nintendo. LGN games, though, they're horrible. It's a really crappy game. But anyway, before I got sidetracked, this was right as Jim Lee was about to be leaving X-Men, if I remember. He might have already been gone, but we got Dan Panosian on art here. Art Tybert doing some art as well. Fabian Niciez is the writer, but they're really cribbing Jim Lee's style here for sure. So I just picked this up because I have the issues surrounding it. So then I picked up some X Factor books. Got Freedom Force here, going after Rusty and Skids. I've got the issues surrounding this, which is also why I picked this up. Then I got this X Factor #39 here with this really awesome Walt Simonson cover here. This is one I didn't have. It's a drawing I've always admired here with all the X-Men together from all the different teams. This is an Inferno issue, part of the original Inferno arc. So this is one I have not flipped through yet at all. Pretty great looking splash page to open up. Got the Simonsons as the team here. Just looking at the pencils here, really cool stuff. That Wild Colossus drawing as he's getting manipulated by Polaris there. Really cool looking Mr. Sinister. And there we got Havoc. So for anybody who read the most recent Dark Web and they had Havoc all dressed up like this, it actually happened before if you didn't realize it. Yeah, so cool. Cool issue. X Factor number 39. I got X Factor number 49 here. Archangel versus Iceman. Again, I've got issue number 50. I think I got 51. I got a bunch of issues around this too. So just adding to my horde here. Looks like we got some Celestials here or something. Iceman versus Archangel. I'm here for the battle. Where is it? X Factor members collide. This looks like they're trapped in some sort of arena here, being forced to do battle. Then I got Blood Hunt number 4 of 5. This is the Red Band edition. When Blood Hunt came out, I picked up issues 1 and 2, and then I just kind of dropped off. I picked up issue 5 to see the conclusion, and I kind of told myself I'll go back and pick up issues 3 and 4 later if I can find them for cheap. And here you go. I found issue number 4 here for cheap. Whoever sold this back to Half Price Books kept it in the original poly bag, which is pretty cool, although it's already been opened. But that's fine. But this is the storyline where we got Blade, who became possessed and turned against the Avengers. But one of the things that I didn't really appreciate too much about it was I could feel like, you could tell that Blade wasn't going to, fully be turned, that he was just being possessed here. So I kind of wanted to see him like really turn. But right at the end of the issue 5, spoilers, he came right back to being a good guy. So not a lot of consequence from there, but the main consequence we saw from this Blood Hunt story was the creation of the Sorcerer Supreme Doom. So, but this is Pepe Larraz on art, I believe. Jed MacKay's writing, so some really awesome artwork in here for sure. Pretty glad I picked this up, actually. Pepe Larraz artwork is definitely a highlight of these Blood Hunt books. So this was the return of Moon Knight, so actually kind of a key issue, at least on my end, because I was collecting all the Moon Knight issues. Oh man, awesome splash page here. But this was kind of a black hole for me. I didn't see this or read this when it happened, so... But I was reading in Moon Knight, so he did kind of just like show back up in Moon Knight. And I heard about him showing up in Blood Hunt, so... Cool to finally see it, and I get to read it too. We got Thor, perhaps making his big comeback here. Nice Avengers team shot. Then I got Savage Dragon number 76. So this is cool. I've got issue 75, everything leading up to this. This was one I didn't have, never picked it up. First issue in A Bold New Direction, which is kind of the first time he started using that, which has become like a running joke in Savage Dragon. I think this was the first time he used it. But this was one that I almost bought off of eBay recently. And like right at the last second, I decided not to. So, and then I found it here for like $2. So really cool. This is the beginning of a whole new story arc in Savage Dragon. He killed Darklord at the end of the last issue, and Darklord warned him that it could have major consequences to all reality. So now we got Savage Dragon in this totally messed up reality here. The Savage World. And this went on for years, months and months. So, Awesome stuff. Oh, there's always some backup stories. I don't want to forget that. Let's see what's in the back here. We got some pinups. A bunch of letters pages. Dragonbert. Just play off of Dilbert, obviously. And we get some Megaton Man by Don Simpson. Pretty cool. Always some laugh out loud funny stuff. For sure. And some Desperate Times by Chris Eliopoulos. His long-running backup in Savage Dragon. So really awesome find. Then I got Spawn number 61. This is the first appearance of Jessica Priest. So really cool to see this. I'm a big fan of She-Spawn and the Scorched in that character. So to get her first appearance is pretty awesome. Did not expect to find this. Got Greg Capullo on artwork here. Todd McFarlane doing the writing. Really cool stuff. I have not flipped through this at all yet, so. There's Jessica Priest, her first appearance. I think that's the same character that was in the Spawn movie, if I'm not mistaken. I'm guessing maybe since she's in the movie, they wanted to put her in the comics. So we even get some information on the movie here and the cartoon. So cool stuff. Then I got Destro number 1. I was reading all the G.I. Joe miniseries. I stopped when Destro came out. They were just getting to be too many. This was kind of the second wave of them, so I said that was a good jumping off point as far as the miniseries go. But I got this for cheap, so awesome cover here. Be looking forward to reading this. Kind of getting me caught up on some of the things that are going on as far as Destro and Cobra goes. Some cool looking artwork in here. Andre Bresson is the artist and Dan Waters is the writer here. Definitely recommend the G.I. Joe and the Energon Universe comics. Then I picked up Wildcats number 11, which is, I pretty much got all the early Wildcats, all the Jim Lee Wildcats. This was one of the only ones I didn't have. Really cool to pick that up. And speaking of Jim Lee, I also finally picked up Batman Hush, the graphic novel here. So got this for a really good price. I've never read this before. Definitely a giant blind spot, and with the new Batman Hush coming out, I definitely wanted to catch up on this. So got some really cool stuff today, and that's about all I got though. I don't want to go too long, but if you like videos like this, please subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.